Hi folks, in this video I actually want to talk about stuff that breaks. And I want to show you stuff that breaks because these machines are going to break. We've said that in other videos, in maintenance videos. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. If you use the steamer long enough and these machines are beat to crap. I know the detail guys use these things 8 hours a day, 5-6 days a week. They get a lot of hours on them and sometimes they're abused. Now, they're not abused on purpose, and we try and put that information out there. Some people miss it, some people disregard it. But I want to explain a couple of things about what I will warranty and what I won't warranty. Now, I'm pretty generous about what I warranty. Hopefully the people out there, if you've gone to different forums and Facebook groups, people might have said that I was generous in warranting something or giving them a break on something that I might have shouldn't have done. But I want to explain what I will and what I won't do and where I draw the line. Because with everything, when things continually break and it's not a defective part that breaks, technically that's not going to be warranty. So let's start. This is the computer board that we use in all of our continuous refill machines. Now, we've redesigned this computer board a number of times over the years to where we've gotten the computer board about as bulletproof as possible. But in certain situations, when people don't use the correct electricity, and I say this over and over and over again, any Chief steamer needs a dedicated circuit. Any 120 volt machine Chief steamer, whether it's the 75 machine, the 100 machine, the 125 machine, it needs a dedicated 15 amp circuit with nothing shared on it. You can't use a 14 gauge extension cord no matter what the length is. It needs to be a 12 gauge extension cord. We've done videos on that. Now, the thing is, when people don't use the correct electric, if they share something on the circuit, if a vacuum is running along with the steamer, if a buffer is running along with the steamer, if you go to somebody's house and you plug in their garage and they have a refrigerator in the garage that's running on the same circuit, it's going to make the steamer struggle. Now, the steamer is still going to work because it's getting electricity. The problem is it's not getting all the electricity that it needs. There's going to be a voltage drop and there's going to be an amperage drop. So the machine's still going to work, it's just not going to be as efficient. And what's going to happen is it's going to struggle. It's like trying to suck a golf ball through a garden hose. That's what the machine is doing with the electricity that it's technically not getting. Now, it's a cumulative effect. It's not going to happen that day that you decide that you need to run a 100-foot extension cord, or you show up at a customer's house and tap into their electric and they're running numerous appliances on the circuit that you're on. It doesn't happen that day, it doesn't happen that week. It takes a long period of time before something goes wrong, and then one day you'll turn it on and it may not just turn on. You may have a burning smell. Something's going to tell you that something's not right with the steamer. It may take way too long to heat. It may not heat at all. So this is what I see, and I see this a lot. And I see it a lot, not because these parts are defective, because the machine's not getting the right electricity. This is what used to be the wire from the power cord, the white or neutral wire from the power cord that runs back to the top connection port on the PCB. Now, what happens is this wire burns first, and then the connection point is the weak point, this tab, because it's soldered onto the back of the computer board, and then it melted. So what it ended up doing was it ended up breaking the wire, it ended up melting the tab, and it ended up burning the back of the board. So this board is useless. This tab, a new tab, can't be soldered on here. It's burnt. The wire's burnt. The wire can be repaired, but it needs a new computer board. Now, people call me up and they say, well, I want the warranty department. Okay, that's me. It's me too, I do everything. I ask what the problem is. When I get explained the problem or I see a picture of this exact same thing and then I say it's not warranty, you get upset. I understand why you get upset, but this video is designed to explain that this is not the result of a defective part. This is the result of the machine not getting the correct electricity. And I've seen boards burn way worse than this. So when something like this happens, it's actually an easy fix. To replace the computer board is easy. To shave off a little bit of wire here and then strip the insulation and crimp a new connector on to get it right to the new board and just swap out all the wires. It's a very easy repair, especially for me and probably for you. The computer board's very accessible. But the thing is, these computer boards are a little bit expensive. And the thing is, it's technically not warranty. Now, depending, and age of the machine doesn't matter. If the machine is 6 months old, 8 months old, a year old, even if it technically falls under that warranty period, it's not a defective part. It's due to excessive heat and improper electricity getting into the machine. So that's something that if I choose, I can choose if I'm a nice guy and I want to do a little goodwill. If you possibly have multiple machines and you're a good customer, maybe I'll throw the computer board in and tell you that you need to give the machine the correct electric. But I can also say it's not warranty, and I'm not going to warranty it because it's not a defective part. So giving the machine, any of the 120 volt machines, the correct electricity is very, very important. We want to make that clear. Now, other things that go wrong with the machine, and we've done videos on this too. This is the solenoid valve. So the solenoid valves have a plunger inside the shaft, and this is the steam output where it screws into the boiler. As you can see, that's plug solid. Sediment gets in there from lack of draining the boiler or the water just being too hard. That's a very, very small hole there, and now it's shut closed. So one of the complaints that I'll hear is that the machine's at pressure, you click your steam hose, it makes the sound inside the machine, but no steam is coming out, and your valve is wide open on the front of the machine. No steam coming out of this port, which is where your steam hose plugs into, means that this is plug solid, steam can't escape. This is not warranty either. This is a wear item. So this is something that when this plug's solid, it's going to be replaced, but not under warranty. Not a very expensive part, but also not a warranty part. The opposite can happen too, is that when the plunger gets stuck in the open position and it doesn't snap closed, it continually lets steam out of this port. And even if with your hose disconnected from the machine, you'll still get steam streaming out. That means that there's a piece of debris in here holding the plunger in the open position and not closing it, and steam will continually flow free. The system is open and you're probably not making as good a pressure. So the solenoid valve needs to be replaced, but it's not warranty. The solenoid valve generally now is not a warranty item. We also get a lot of these where filters are never replaced. Every single filter now on any machine is on the outside of the machine, so you can't see that you didn't see it. And it's not that these filters are expensive, these filters are cheap. But when these filters get clogged, it affects the water flow of the pump going into the boiler. So the first thing is you want to check your filter. Replace the filter. These can't be cleaned, they can't be opened, they need to be replaced. It's a 2-minute replacement and it's a $5 part. As the water flows into the machine and through the pump, I don't have a pump here because it's a little bit difficult to show a failed pump, but we have multiple tubes that have basically been plugged solid from sediment. So these tubes are tubes that fill the boiler. This one is still plug solid where it won't allow water from the pump end to go into the boiler, and this is just worse, where it just cakes solid. It's like cement on the end of the fitting. So in that case, it's still a pump that fails because the pump works extremely hard. As that hole starts to close and close and close, water can't flow as freely into the boiler. The pump is on a timer, so the pump is only going to run for so long. You're going to get the alarm, you're going to get the red beeping, and the machine's going to shut itself down because it won't heat an empty boiler. So that's a common thing that people tell me is that the water bottle is full, but they're getting the alarm after a couple of minutes and the machine shuts itself down. That's a water fill issue. Now, the pump failed because the pump was overworking because there was no way the pump was going to pump water through a shut water tube. And then the pump got too hot, the pump finally failed, and then there's no pump operation. Technically, that's not warranty either. Now, either you didn't drain your boiler often enough, or the water is just too hard, and you got to drain the boiler even more. So when I ask people how often you drain your boiler, then people say, what's that? How do I do that? We've done videos on that. It's in the owner's manual. So I would appreciate you saying that, nobody was ever told about that. You have to drain the boilers when cold on these machines. It's very, very important. We don't want vinegar being used anymore. We've also done videos on that. You don't need vinegar, you just need to drain it. Hard water, especially tap water, is going to cause problems like this, and it's going to plug everything solid. So between a water filter getting dirty, between these tubes getting clogged, it's going to make your pump fail, and then the pump can't fill the boiler and it shuts the machine down. It needs a replacement pump. Now again, I'll be the determining factor of whether I'm going to warranty the pump or not, but technically I don't have to do that either. These issues are even maybe not lack of maintenance, because I understand when you're working and you're trying to get stuff done and you're just doing things over and over and over and over and the machine is making you money and it's working great until it just doesn't. I understand that, but there's a certain level of maintenance that needs to be done on these machines, that also the machine needs to be taken care of. And then when something doesn't work, it's not automatically going to be a warranty problem. Technically, a warranty problem is because a part is defective. It turns out to be defective. It's not that a water pump can't pump something through a shut water tube, or through a filter that's totally clogged, or a computer board or a piece of wire that burns because the machine isn't getting the correct electricity. So like I said, I'm pretty generous with the way I warranty these machines, and I also pay for shipping back to you. Now, I require you to ship a machine to me if I'm going to repair it, but when I ship it back, I pay for the shipping back to you. And again, depending on what the problem is, how long I spend on it, a lot of times, even if I charge you for this, I'm just going to charge you for the part. I very rarely will charge you for the labor. So I'm trying to be fair about that. But I also wanted to get it out there for two reasons. For one, if you're an existing customer and you're an existing customer that has a problem, I want you to understand that not everything is warranty. Now, if you're a potential new customer and you're watching this video and you're going to judge me and say, well, if this guy's not going to warranty every single thing on this machine in the 3-year period, then maybe we're not a good match. So I want you to understand that I'm very generous about the warranty period, but there's certain things when I see them, and I see them over and over, and I know why something happened to the machine, I can be the judge of whether I'm going to warranty it or not. So take care of your machine, drain it, look at your water filter, pop the cover off every once in a while, look for burned wires, be aware of the electricity that you're giving it, treat the machine right, and the machine will treat you right.